Hi everybody, welcome back to Nellie and Ruth Designs. In my last video, I did a flip through of these really pretty books for collaging, collage art, and all the wonderful images in here. And because some of the images are larger, what I thought I would do is I'm going to do my bird collage, okay? But what I thought I would do is I thought I would make two scrapbooking pages. I would make one and then I'll make another one off camera to coincide with it. So, or coordinate with it. And these papers I bought a long time ago, Hackney and Company, hand illustrated designs. So I want to use these, and I kind of want to show you. I had done a video showing all of the books that I had purchased, the scrapbooking papers. If I can find that, I'll link it. This was at least 2 years ago, so I don't know if I can find it. But these are absolutely gorgeous photos or pictures. Not photo. I just got done looking at photos and pictures, so that's in my mind. Papers. These are beautiful papers. So I would love to have you stick around. If you're new to my channel, welcome. For everyone that returns and encourages me to keep working some new ways to use some of these beautiful images for collage art. Thank you, and thank you to all of my Patreon supporters. So this paper here does have a little shimmer and sheen to it, so it might be a little, you can see a little bit up here, the lights from my studio lights, I guess. And I like this. I like these papers very much because they give you 4 of each design. So when you create in a scrapbook, I usually do, a lot of times I will take 2 pages the same and I will put them side by side and I will work there. Obviously, you don't have to do that. And this company has coordinated the papers just beautifully where you can work like this side by side. And again, this one is called Tell the Bees. There's 40 double-sided sheets in here, 200 GSM papers, and it's a pearlescent paper, all right? That's why it's a little shimmery, and it's very beautiful paper. And I thought this would be really nice to use. I could do something, once I get done, I could use it for my hiking photo. I could put a beautiful picture of my mom on there for her scrapbook. These are fun right here. I'm just showing you the different. This is really pretty. The bees. Little beehives with the coordinating. Isn't that pretty? It's kind of like a navy blue. Here's some more black bees. Isn't that pretty? So I just kind of wanted to show you all the papers. We've got some honeycomb here. What these papers are like. And again, these have been sitting in my closet. I have not done anything with them. And I think it would be just really pretty to use these images here on these pages. Some of the colors are so brilliant and bright. And I'm going to work with this one here because I think this would just be really pretty. And I'm going to pull another one because I do believe I would like to have these side by side in my scrapbook like this. So they will be actually like this in my book. But I'm only going to work one at a time, and I'm going to keep this over here. So if I come up with a large image and I cut it in half, I can attach it over to this one here. So first I want to find, you could probably work in this in a couple different ways. This just has the flowers. This one here, I believe, does this one have, no, I think the animal has the birds in it. That would make sense, wouldn't it? So I'm going to choose my birds first. See, so these larger images, like I said before, these would be great on a 12 by 12 scrapbook page if you are a scrapbooker. I think this one here is really pretty. But I'm wondering if I might not want to have a smaller bird with a larger flower. I just have to decide which route I'm going to go. If I'm going to use hiking, I think I might use hiking. But I just really like this for my mom's book too. So let's see, wouldn't these be beautiful with that? These bright, 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 look at that. Look at those. I just think these would be so pretty in the foreground, or even this here. This is so pretty, and this could come up around. I'm tempted to use one of these larger, really large flowers. And I'm thinking, I'm going to set this one aside. And I want to see what colors we have in this one. I do love working with flowers. I hope you don't get sick of seeing them. But I just, these are pretty. I want to save these so if I get the fairy book down the road, they're more fairy-ish. But I really want something bright and bold against this black. These are a bit more muted, so I think I'm going to be going back over to this book. So let's see here. I love that. So let's take another quick look through. Those are smaller, half-page ones. Now something like this would be, if you have well, these are quarter, a half-page one to kind of rip and tear and put it, you could make a nice pocket on the side. Okay, so this is where look at that purple. Could actually have a purple come behind that as well. Blues. So I think we are going to go I'm going to go with this one because I think that would just be so pretty. On there. So I'm going to pull this page out, and if you can get it right nicely at that seam, you won't worry about tearing your paper. Watch me pull it out now, it'll rip. There we go. All right, so what I'm going to do is, okay, I'm going to use this, And I would love to put maybe a mushroom behind over there, and then if I can get a bird coming down over around here. And then if I'm designing, you got to think about this too if you are a scrapper. So now I have this coming this way, okay? So if I choose to, so this would be on my the left-hand side of my book. So this is my 3-ring binder here. And then, so now I'll be putting this over on this side. And then if I do, let's move this over a little bit. And I probably would find a larger mushroom style. Let's just put this here. If I put something like this, just hypothetically, if I put something like this behind here and I cut it, I would take this and I would put it over on this side, okay? So sometimes things get changed around, flip-flopped. Look at that. So pretty. And I kind of want to stick with the same color theme. So I would pick something like this. Like that one with the book too. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this out because I do want a fussy cut. And I think on this one, I may leave a little bit of the white right around to have it stand out. If I don't like that, then I will come back and I will cut that edge off and just put the flower on here. So let me do that, and then when I get that all cut out, I'll be back. Okie dokie. All right, I have some things cut out. It's actually the next day. I stepped away from this. I had other things that I had to do after I got these cut out. It took me a little bit because I did it with my X-Acto knife, but let me show you. I guess I'll show you on just this plain black paper. It'll show up a little bit better, okay? This is the one image that I had shown you, and that is all cut out. Excuse me. So we're going to be using that. And these are the little mushrooms. I decided to take basically the whole, this was just a square, and I fussy cut around here, as you can see. I don't think I'm going to fussy cut in here. I think I'm going to leave this, but we'll see once I start playing with it. So that's done. And then I took a bird, because this is supposed to be my bird collage, so I am including a bird. And I have decided that I'm going to be using my mom's photo, and she loved birds, and I just think these papers are really appropriate. And then this morning I found this gorgeous flower, and I think it goes really well with these colors. This is for the page next door, okay? So I think these go really well together. So I cut that this morning. And then I have a small photo of my mom. And what I did was, see, this is a tiny little one. This is the original photo. And I will set this aside. So what I did is I scanned it and I modified the color. I made it a little more black and white. This is just a very old photo. So I created that. This I will set aside. I'll use that on another page or something. Then what I did was, because there's such a large spanse, the page next door, let me just move some of this stuff here. I didn't want to just frame my mom's picture and put it on this page. I wanted to add some other contrasting black and white and like a cream that would go with it. So I picked these papers here. These are just random scrapbook papers, okay? And we're going to, I was going to cut these up, but then I got thinking this might be a good tip for some of you out there. Now, these papers, and save these little bits and pieces. Don't throw them away, because I am going to use these, and I'm going to show you how I am going to use these. I think I'm using that one. I kind of mixed them up, so we'll see. But I was going to cut these papers down, and I said, wait a minute. This might be a good tip for some of you. So the Carl cutter that I have here, sorry about the glare here, my lights, it only goes to 12 inches, okay? Or it doesn't go to 12 inches. It goes to 9 inches. Sorry about that. And you can do, you can do your A5, and if you were to do an A5, what you would do is you would line your paper up here. So say like you wanted to do this, say your paper is a little bit bigger. You would put your A5 here, you would cut, and then again, you would do the A5 there. This is my go-to this is my go-to cutter. I love it. This is my second one, and Carl, I don't know if they still do, but they do give you a lifetime guarantee. And after about 10 years, it fell over and it cracked. I don't remember how it cracked, but it wasn't serving me well. After I couldn't use it after that happened. And I just want to see if I can turn this around. Yeah. The other thing that I'll show you, the other thing I like about this. So after it cracked, I'm like, oh boy. I contacted the company and I told them what happened, and they sent me a return label. I shipped it back to them, and they sent me a totally new one. So this is my second one. It would still be my first one if I hadn't been careless. But I've had this. I started scrapbooking in 1998, 99, after my boys were born. And I've had it since then. And the other thing that I like about it, you change the blades over here on the side. Okay, it's just a little thing, and you put a new blade in. But you can also change the side here where your paper lays and the blade goes. So you can get, and it's time for me to change it because the other side is really groovy. But I really like this. So because it only goes to 9 inches, this paper here, I want to make a 10 by 10 cut. And obviously I'm not sure where the 10 by 10 inches on here is. So what I did, and this is what I wanted to show you, if you do not have a cutter that goes to say like 15 inches, or you don't have an extendable arm, what I did was I took my score pad, my scoreboard, and I put my paper on here, and I scored it. Where's my little score thing? I did 10 inches down here, and then I just flipped it. And then I made a score line of 10 inches down this side. Then I can just cut this. And maybe some of you already do this, I don't know. But then I can just place it here. And because of the lighting, it's kind of funky. But here's my 10 inches here. So I can just cut that. And then I can turn it. And I can find my score line here. And then I have my 10 by 10 paper right there. So I wanted to share that with you because I think any little tip and trick is good. So I want to have that there. And then the other thing I want to do is I don't want to just put my mom's picture there. I want to put it on this background. Now I may have to cut this down a little bit. I have to see if I want I think I'm going to want just a small border around this. I thought about leaving a little bit bigger border, and I still may do that, and distressing the edges around here and kind of making it torn and tattered. I haven't done that in a long time, so I'll see if I can do that. And it looks like I'm going to want to cut this down because I don't know how much of this. I think I'll have to do this first in order to see. So I'm just going to say, and I know it's kind of hard probably for you to see. That's pretty too. Isn't that pretty? Paper. So I think here what I'm going to have to do, I will try to do 1/4 of an inch around, just 1/4. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep that there for a minute. And I'm going to just do my best to just guide this on here. And just kind of see, line it up. And I don't care if that's, I'm going to distress this side anyways. I didn't push hard enough on my, so we have that there like that. And I want to leave enough room to kind of curl the paper. There we go. All right. All right, so let's see. I'm just going to move this aside. And I do have a, there we go. I have a piece of sandpaper, all right? And this is going to get kind of messy, so I think I'm going to do it on the back of here. And I think the first thing I'm going to do is just try to curl this up like this. And there's probably an easier way to do this, but this is how I do it. I start a little curl, and then I kind of fold it over. Let's see, maybe this would work better. I don't know. And it's okay if you kind of tear the edge a little bit, because you want that. Sometimes it's good to take a little tiny piece off here and there, but you have to be careful. You don't want to go back into it too much. And then I just kind of roll it and work with it. And then I will take my sandpaper to this. The only place I'm kind of careful with is around the edges here. And if you have different tools to do this, it might be a little bit easier. Okay. And I mean, the nice thing is it's just paper, so if you don't like the way it comes out, just toss that one aside and start over again. Because sometimes you'll have an idea in your mind, and you know, it'll work out great, and then sometimes it doesn't. All right, so I'm going to take this sandpaper, and again, it might, I just want to rough this up here. I think they make, I used to have a tool that would do this. And I don't know where it went. It was a little round disc. And it had like a little shaver on the inside. And when I redid my craft room, oh, I put it in a safe place so I knew where it would be. And you think I can find it? No. I have to call on St. Anthony. He'll help me find it. I do want, maybe I'll use my scissors on this next. And the other thing is, because it's so black, it makes it a little difficult to I think get the right look, but I think if you just play with it, and I'm just trying to soften it up. This would make a good, what are those, ASMR, I think, videos where they like to listen to noise. All right, so we'll try that. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see if it comes out. And then maybe what I will do is, maybe I'll take some of this, and maybe this might help a little bit too. Just kind of want to soften this, and we'll see. And if it doesn't look good, like I said, I'll just maybe use a plain piece of paper like I normally do, but I just thought this would be kind of nice to, yeah, I like that because it's just kind of roughed up, and it's old, and kind of takes away where I had cut. You know, these corners are very soft just from wear and tear. So I think that will be good. All right, and then, so let's go back over here. We'll get this done here. So now I can decide what size, and I think I'm just going to, because I do want to that flower that I showed you. Just sorry, I'm looking for my ruler. So let's see, this, whoops, this here is 8 1/4, almost 8 1/2. So I'm just wondering, maybe 9 1/2. 9 1/2 by 6 1/2. We'll try that. So let's do the 6 1/2 first. Okay, 6 1/2. And again, 9 1/2. I'm going to use my, whoops, sorry. I know it's noisy. We'll do 9 1/2 here. And this one I'll fold a little bit, okay? And then that way I can see it a little bit better when I make the cut. Okay, all right. And then that way I can have this offset a little bit as well. So we're gonna get, that'll be nice. And then I think what I will do, is, I'm just wondering if I want to add a little something else here. We're gonna move that right up there. Let me see what side. Yeah, I can put that there like that. And then I can put a little something over here about mother or whatever. So let's get this down and then we will go over and do the other collage. And then I'm going to get this on first. And then, what am I thinking? What am I thinking? If I want to add a little something else over here with this, we can do that. So today is Friday, and we have the graduation tonight for my girlfriend's daughter. And it is an absolutely gorgeous day. I told my husband I wanted to get in here straight away this morning because I'm going to ink this up a little bit too, because it is such a gorgeous, gorgeous day. I want to get outside. I got to take my girls for a walk. I woke up this morning and it was like 50 something degrees. That's why I have this little sweater on. And it is just glorious. The sun is shining. There's bluebird skies. There's not a cloud in the sky today. And it's just a perfect day. And let's see what else. The other thing I'm going to tell you, and I will tell you once I start collaging over on the other side. I'm going to give you a health update. And I'm sure a lot of you can kind of tell that my mood has changed, a much brighter, happier mood. There we go, that's good. I like that. I like the way that this has come out here. I'm sure some of you could, you probably, like I said, do this all the time. You could probably do a better job than I did. But I'm happy with it. I think it gives a nice little accent around the photo. And I always use an old diaper. I keep at my desk, and of course, I'm not going to use it on this because it's the way it's printed. It's a little, it's glossy paper, but it's not like the gloss like you get at the, like if you take your photos to Walgreens or whatever. And this is the other reason why I use the tape when I do scrapbooking. If that was glue, there's no way I would be able to get that down in there. So, okay, so I think we can put this on here because I don't believe I'm going to be putting anything else in the background. But if I do, another tip is don't bring your tape all the way to the edge. Bring it in about a ½ inch. It's going to be in a book anyways, regardless. It's not like it's going to be falling out of the book. And I'll put that right about there like that. Okay. And then we are going to take this, and I got to bring this in a little bit more. See, I can bring that right over so that there where it is cut, will touch the page. So I hope you all have a good weekend. I think mine will be fun. My son comes home Saturday night. I can't wait to see him. He's been gone all week to Texas. And it's weird around here because Michael is, he's loud like I am. And let's do it like this. And his brother's more the quiet one. And when Michael comes walking into the house, you know he's here. And I always said, when the boys were little, I always said we were the loud family. Because Michael and I we're loud with our laughter and all that. People know when we walk into a room, so my dad, people know that we're here. So I miss that. All right, so there is that page there. And I think that's really pretty. And I will pick something out up here to put, and I'll finish this page after. All right, so this is going to be the corresponding page in my mom's book. So we're going to put that one there. I'm going to set that over here. Okay, so let me get this laid out and then I'll give you my health update because I don't want to mess this up. So we have this here, and this is where I know I want to put this down here in the corner because it is the corner piece. I'm just wondering how I should put this. So we have that there, but again, this has to go up. And I'm wondering if I think I am going to cut this little bit out, because if I have the mushrooms maybe behind there, I'm going to cut this little tiny bit out here. I think that would work better. Okay. And let me just make sure that I'm even wondering if I don't want to cut down around here. I think I might as well cut down around here and up. But I'm just wondering what that would look like with just this here. But I could put the year sideways here, and that would be good. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take this, because I won't use these little black strips, and maybe I can just see what it would be like if that was black there. I think I'm going to cut them out. I think I'll cut this little section out too. I think this is fighting with these here, or fighting with these leaves. So let me just take these out here. We have new neighbors. We have a young couple that moved into the sweetest little cabin next door to us. We had friends that lived there forever. This little cabin, campy cabin, was built in the, I want to say I think my husband told me it was like the early 50s. It was a hunting camp. It's 1,200, I'm looking for my big scissors. It's 1,200 square feet. They're there. It's tiny. And we had friends that lived there for quite a while. They never did anything to it. They had hopes and dreams, but their marriage fell apart, and it just didn't work out. And the gentleman that lived there, he was there's one thing of being thrifty, but there's another thing of being just cheap, and he was cheap. So his wife, and they were a young couple, they had 3 young children. I think when she left, the oldest one was maybe 15, 14. I don't wish any marriage to break up, and we were pretty upset when she left and how she did it. But after a few years, I still got together with her. We weren't speaking for a long time, and I said, this is stupid. You know, what she does in her life doesn't affect me, and if that makes her happy, then so be it. So I had lunch with her one time. It had been like 3 years. And I kind of got to know her husband worked for us. And he was my hiking buddy. We would hike because my husband didn't like to hike. So we would hike all the time. And after she left, you know, we usually in a divorce, you try not to take sides, especially when they're your friends. And I felt closer to him than I did to her. And it's funny how things work out because you know, she will Instagram me, she'll DM me, you know, through Instagram. She married a local judge, and I couldn't be happier for her now. And I told her that one day. We were out and about, and I think it was when our kids graduated. She had a son that was the same age as my boys. And I pulled her aside one day. She just looked radiant. She's a very outdoorsy girl, beautiful girl, naturally beautiful. This girl does not need any makeup. She's just naturally beautiful. And I said to her, I go, I just want you to know. I says, I know we haven't talked in years. I said, but I just want you to know I could not be happier for you. She was looking for certain things in the marriage that her husband he could give her. He didn't want to give her. And I'm not talking about material possessions or anything like that. And I think he held her back a lot. And she used to work for me. She used to be my full-time gardener. And she's just very earthy, crunchy, and great laugh. I just always loved being around her. And I just had to tell her that. I'm like, you know, I honestly, and we have lunch, and, you know, we'll talk about it now. And I just tell her, I go, I just can't be happier for you. She really did make the right choice. You know, she didn't necessarily do it the right way, but sometimes, you know, what is the right way? I don't know. And she just went on a beautiful hiking trek outside of, I think it was outside of Greece, and she was sending me her pictures and posting on her DM. And she was gone for, I think, 10 days. And she's just enjoying life so much now. Oh, I know. And so where is this going? Oh, I think that's much better, don't you? Oh, I think that's so much better. Yeah. Let me show you against that. See? And then I can put the date here. So yeah, so I met the new neighbors, and a really sweet couple. They own a inn down in the town where I lived. It's a resort town. So I met them, and they're really nice. I haven't met the wife yet. I met the husband. He was out there putting in a fence. He says they have an older dog, and they've been living in the inn for the last 3 years, and they want their dog to be in his final days. He goes, he's old, he's got a few years left, but we want him to be out enjoying life. So yeah, so that's new. And the other big news is Nancy, my neighbor Nancy, my sweet neighbor Nancy. She is coming home. Got to put it this way. I had it sideways, didn't I? She is coming home July 5th. So she's scared. She's excited. She's nervous. She says the thing that she's going to miss the most is the people that she has met, and she goes, I'm going to be going back into isolation when I move home. So I said, don't think that way. So I'm excited to have her back on the hill, and I'll be visiting with her and stuff again. So that's exciting news. So these extra papers that I have, okay, when I put these on here, they're kind of dark, even though they have that pop of color. I'm going to accent them with these little pieces here, all right? So this is a leftover piece, and I ripped and tore it, so it's going to go right up here in this corner, and I'm going to have this bird right about here flying in towards the flower, and then I want to accent the flower here. So again, this was an extra piece, and I just kind of tore that, and I'm going to place this behind here, up in this area like this, and I'll take this little bit of piece off here, okay, and that will kind of accent this flower right there. And then I have this little piece here where I thought I would bring this down and around like that. So you see how that can change the overall composition, and that just brightens it up a little bit more, and you just kind of go to where all of this is. So what I'm going to do is, before I start jabbing, I think what I will do is I am going to ink these up a little bit, okay? The insides here. And if I want to do the outside, I will afterwards, the whole page. But just by inking these up a little tiny bit, it'll just give a nice little appearance. So again, when you're doing a collage, I just don't think that you have to overdo anything. It's just adding certain little things, and I may even add, I have this little box here. I may even add a couple little things here again to just enhance a little bit. I'm just going to stick these here real quick. Just like that, just so I have them. And then let me see if there's anything in here that could be added as well. Something like that is kind of fun. Just to kind of have it flow up this way. And again, you don't have to get crazy with some of this stuff, but just one or two little pieces. I really don't want blue. I don't want any green. Books, that's fun. Let's see what else we have in here. I should make a little ephemera holder for these, right? Maybe he's throwing some numbers in there. That might be kind of fun. Oh, my stomach is gurgling. Maybe we'll do that there. I think that's pretty. And that just adds a little bit more. Okay. So what I'm going to do is ink this. Just bear with me. I haven't forgotten to tell you what's my Cleveland trip, okay? I just want to get this down. Okay, I think I can start now because I know where everything is going to go. So, I took the last drop. I sound like a Folgers commercial. Good to the last drop. I think my eye is good. I know my eye's good to the last drop. I just hope my eye holds up after the last drop. I took my last drop of prednisone eye drops on yesterday, Thursday. I had to wean myself off. That was a very long task, weaning myself off, because I had to go back down to 1 drop every other day for 2 weeks. And I kind of got confused after a while, even though I was putting it on my phone, if I can just remember the days of the week, because that was another thing that I haven't been in my pocket, not my pocket calendar, but I've had so many appointments. I went for my pulmonary test the other day, which was very, very interesting. I'll tell you about that. It's like, don't ever ask an old person how they're doing. And why isn't this, what is going on here? Because they'll tell you all about their aches and pains. All right, so what is going on? Come on. There we go. Why isn't this rolling? I got all kinds of tape here. All right, I'm going to take a little technical break and fix my roller. Okay, it's not my tape roller, it's the paper. For some reason, it won't stick to this paper. So I'm going to have to use glue on it. I've never had that happen before. I'm like, what is going on with this? So I will just glue this down, which is good to know, because this tape is really expensive. I don't like to waste it. So getting back to my Cleveland trip. So so I took the last of my drops, which is great. I don't know if you really need to see me glue here. And I had, the day that, I'll kind of digress a little bit here. The day that I received that not so nice email was the day I was hit with all kinds of bad news. And I didn't know how to handle anything. Normally, I would just shake off an email like that and just chalk it up to somebody's ignorance. And they always say, you never know what's going on in someone's life. So tread lightly. And I hit a tipping point that day. I hit a breaking point. I mean, as you know, I had my foot surgery in, I think I'm going to put this down over that. Am I? I'm going to put it like that. I had my foot surgery in January. I was laid up for 3 months, literally laid up for 3 months. And then after I got out of my boot, of course, then the iritis attacked my eye. That was Easter weekend. So that was very disturbing for me, and I did make the video about that. I was very teary-eyed, very upset, scared. And then I went to Cleveland, remember, for that second opinion. That happened during the time of the eclipse. And then when we were at Cleveland, at that time, my former daughter-in-law, Karen, called me to tell me, we were in Cleveland, that her sister died, and Deborah was loved by all. That was very sad. Very, very sad. And then when I got home, I was so looking forward to, Karen's best friend was coming to stay with us for the wake and the funeral. And I was cleaning my house, and I just got done vacuuming our kitchen floor. We have stone floors throughout the house, so I use my certain like vacuum on it. And the stool fell over, as you know, most of you know, and I broke 2 toes. Doctor thought it was 1 toe. It was actually 2 toes. So that, I had to go back into my boot for 6 weeks. The iritis came back. I had to go back on the prednisone drops. I was a mess. I was being tested for autoimmune disease per my eye doctor's request, because she said there's something that is not right. Something's not going on. Something's not normal. And I had all the tests. That's what brought the pulmonary test on that I just took, because they found pockets, enlarged pockets, which I still don't quite understand, enlarged pockets in my lungs. And I guess that shows the asthma. And I knew I had sports-induced asthma because I'm always sucking wind when I hike, because these mountains are steep here. So I had to get signed up for the pulmonary test, and then I didn't want to put that there. And then I got a call. Oh, so then I had to go. Yeah, I am going to keep that there. I may have to find something else. Sorry. Then I had to go get my mammogram. So I can tear this piece off right here. So when I'm doing all of that, I go for my mammogram. Now, the day that I went for my mammogram, I got a call from my nurse at my primary care, and Patty says, they found something wrong with your blood. You have to see a hematologist now. And I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me. So that really started to worry me. Now, I can become a bundle of nerves when it comes to my health very, very easily, as I'm sure most of you can. And the breaking point was when I after I got that news, I got a call back from my local facility who did my breast exam and said, we see something wrong. You need to come back and you need to have another mammogram that will go, I don't know, deeper or whatever. And I just kind of, I wasn't sure what to think about that. My first thought was, this can't be happening to me because there's no breast cancer in my family. There's no cervical cancer in my family. My mother was healthy as a horse, healthier than a horse. Sometimes they got to put the old horses down. And that really upset me. So I go back and I have the mammogram. I don't know how I kind of messed that up. I didn't want that. I'll just put it there like that. And maybe what I can do, I need to have something attach itself to this here, okay? I don't like this little hole here. I'll put that there like that, okay? So I had to go back for the mammogram, and I get the results back, and they say, yep, we see something we don't like. We want, basically they wanted to start cutting and exploring. And I'm like, no. So that really sent me over the edge. And they, you know, the girl says, the doctor really wants you. Now, I remember when poor Nancy had her, her notification that she had breast cancer. Before they told her she had breast cancer, she went back to that gosh darn hospital 3 times, 3 different biopsies, because, oh, we can't get it. We didn't get it all. We're having trouble, blah, blah, blah. And I said, I'll be darned. I didn't really say darned. If I go to my local hospital and they start digging and all this other stuff, and I have to go back and back and back. So I told my husband, well, when the doctor called, he goes, what do you want to do? I said, I'm going to Cleveland. That was my primary care. He goes, yep, I thought you'd be going to Cleveland. So I searched out a specialist in Cleveland. And unlike our doctors here, they were able to get me in immediately. So we chose, the day I called, I said, we'll leave in 2 days. Okay, my husband has to cancel some appointments. And so we made it for, what was it, June 18th, I think? June 19th? I don't remember. And we went out, and I told him it was for a second opinion. And they had said to me when I called, make sure you bring out your disc and all of your paperwork. And I said, you got it. So we went out, we met with Cleveland. My appointment was on a Wednesday to meet with the doctor and the PA and all of that. And they look, she says, you know, our pathologist is looking. We have a couple pathologists looking at your mammogram. And it's going to take about 30 minutes because they want to look at it really, really good. So we waited in the room, and Molly came back in and she said, the doctor wants you to have a biopsy. And of course, then I started crying. She goes, no, 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 we're not going there. She says, let's do a biopsy, and then we will, if there's something wrong, we will figure out what to do, what will be best for you. She says, but let's get the biopsy done. So I'm telling you, between everybody's prayers and everything else, when we got out there, I explained, she says, let's get you scheduled. And the woman, she's an angel. She was such an angel. And she says, okay, you know, let's get this done. And she's looking at her calendar. And I said, just so you know, we drive 9 hours to get here. And she just kind of looked at me over her glasses like, say what? And I said, if you can work your miracles, and I says, I know Cleveland Clinic is very, very good about this. I said, because we've been coming here since 2000 and, oh my gosh, we've been coming here since 2004. I had to have major surgery. I had to have laparoscopic pyeloplasty in 2004. And if you don't know what that is, look that up. That was an 11-hour surgery. But the doctor there literally saved me. And so she says, okay, she goes, I'm going to put you down. There's an opening for July 19th. I said, I'll never make it till July 19th. I said, I won't. I said, I've already lost 5 pounds from nerves and worry. And I said, could you at least see? She goes, I'm going to try to get you in. Now, this was a Wednesday that I had the exam. And she says, where are you staying? I said, oh, we're at the Intercontinental. She goes, oh, goodness. She goes, I don't want you to have to stay there. I said, look, I can't put a price on my health. I said, if I can, the sooner I can get this done, the quicker I can get back to my life. So she says, all right. She goes, so she immediately made 3 phone calls. She sent an email. And one of the nurses got back to her and they said, there is an opening Friday morning if you want to stay at 8:30 a.m. She says, however, if there is, she goes, I have to tell you this, if there is an emergency in this department and somebody has to have surgery or whatever, they come first. I said, I get it. I understand it. I go, I do not have a problem with this. So I said, my husband and I will book our room for another night. Actually, 2 more nights, because we were going to check out that day. If everything, you know, I was hoping, oh, everything will be great. And they got me in. I went in. She called me at 11 o'clock Thursday morning, and she says, Barbara, we got you in. Everything is good. Be over at such and such facility at 8:15, and we're going to do I forget what they call it. It's stato something biopsy. You lay flat on a table and there's a large hole in it, and there's like a mammogram machine underneath, and they do the same thing, kind of like your mammogram, and they get you all situated, and then there is a machine where the technician, they took like 6 pictures of my breast. And then the doctor came in. You're laying flat. It's almost like laying on beach sand. Remember when you used to go to the beach and just throw a towel down on hard sand? It was not uncomfortable. And the doctor said to me, I'm going to be giving you a shot of lidocaine. And then we will start the procedure. Well, she gave me the shot and she says, please try to hold very, very still. Please do not move at all. And I said, I won't. I will do my best. I'll let you look at these and then I'll find a little saying and we'll do a little date over here. I'll just finish my story. So I was there and I thought she was still giving me the shot of lidocaine, and she says, okay, we're good. We're all set. You're good to go. It's all done. And I'm like, really? And she's like, yep. And then she came around to the table because I was facing the wall, and her name is Dr. Miller, fabulous doctor. And she came over and she was, patting my back and, you did really well. And she says, we'll have the result. I will have the pathologist. She goes, we only have 2 pathologists right now in this department. She says, but I will make sure that they get read in a timely manner. And, the weekend was coming up. So she says, somebody will call you with the results. And so I figured it would be Wednesday, at least, this past Wednesday, just because of time and the weekend. And we went out. My granddaughter was here, so we went out for a joyride that day. And we were at the ice cream parlor. And I got the call. And I stayed in the car. We had an open air Jeep we were in, and I stayed in the Jeep. And I got the call, and it was one of the gals from Cleveland. And she gave me the news that my ultrasound, everything was negative, everything was benign. You do not have breast cancer. And I just collapsed. I was just exhausted, and the tears of joy just flowed. And my poor granddaughter, she came out and she thought something was terribly wrong. And I was waiting for my husband and son to come out to tell them. And I didn't say anything to Ava. And then I called my son in Texas. I stepped out of the vehicle and I was crying on the phone with him. And then my other son came out, and then I was crying and hugging him and gave him the news. And then my poor Ava, I should have said something. Then my husband came out and I really started crying. And we were hugging in the parking lot, and Ava's like, Grandma, what is wrong? What happened? And I said, nothing, hon. I go, these are tears of joy. So I explained everything to her, and I said I didn't want to say anything, to anybody until I got the results. So I was over the moon. So I made all my calls to all my buddies. I did all my for those that I don't talk to, I do, email or a couple Instagram chats. I informed everybody there. And I'm letting all of my craft sisters know now that everything is good. My spirits are so high. I don't care about any bad negative vibes anymore. I'm done. It's over. I can get back to my normal activities. So there's no more doldrums here. There's no more, I tried to stay uplifting when I did some of these videos, and some of you could tell. Some of you in your comments are like, something's not right, something's going, and I couldn't say anything because I didn't want to, I wasn't sure how the outcome was going to turn out. So everything is fine. I am healthy. I am, just like I said, uplifted. And for all of you that sent me well wishes, prayers. I never prayed so hard in all my life, all of these weeks. And your prayers and your love and your support and your care, I just can't thank you enough. So that's my story. That's it. I'm back to normal. My health is good. I have nothing to worry about unless I drop a stool on my right foot and I break a toe or two there. Hopefully I won't do that. So getting back to this, I'm going to find a little saying here. I'm going to put a date over here and we will wrap this up. All right, so I found a nice quote. The quote actually is from Marilyn Monroe. And the quote is, "Keep smiling because life is a beautiful thing and there's so much to smile about." And my mom had the best smile ever. And she didn't have the best life when she was growing up during the Great Depression. And actually, I don't know if coming out of the Depression, but this is a photo of her in 1944, so that would have made her 24 years old. But she always tried to stay positive. As she got older, she got a little more negative. But for the most part, she was an extremely positive person. And you know, just like everything I went through, you know, I tried to smile. It's very hard, but this saying is right. Keep smiling because life is beautiful, is a beautiful thing, and there's so much to smile about. And each day when I sit here at my craft table with all of my subscribers, I just smile. I smile inside and outside. I love sharing with you. You know, different things that I've been going through. Maybe I can help someone out there. And definitely, I hope I can help you with if you are a scrapbooker, I added another little bird here. I just thought this because it is my bird collage. And I said, oh, I just want to add another little bird. And my mom loved birds so much. So I think this is a really sweet pages, and it's a great way to use these larger images out of the books from Maremi Small Art. So there's so much you can do with larger images, and if you like the larger images, use scrapbooking paper, and then you can always put them in a scrapbook. There's nothing to say that you can't go out and buy a nice pack of scrapbooking paper and then do whatever you want on top of that. So I want to thank everybody for joining in today. I appreciate you all very much. I hope you enjoyed this style of collaging with the birds here. And again, if you're a scrapbooker, I hope you enjoyed these 2 pages, and I hope I gave you a little different view on how you can scrapbook. Again, you don't have to put a photo on every single page. You can just have a feature photo. So that's it. I want everybody to have a great weekend. I don't know if I will get to, it's a busy weekend for me with the graduations and everything. So I don't know if I'll get to my color cube, my Sunday color cube collage. But if I don't get to it on Sunday, it will be up either Monday or Tuesday. So just hang tight. I haven't forgotten about you. It's just little time restrictions here. So again, have a great weekend, everybody, and I will see you in my next video. Alrighty, bye-bye.